What's going on, everyone? I've been looking over this Hitman trailer and trying to decipher everything that I could and see if I can kind of give clues to what exactly these four new missions are and where they'll take place and so on and so forth. I mean, a lot of it they give away. I just thought I'd kind of go through it and show you guys some of the stuff I found. So, one of the things in here was in Marrakesh. If you actually look right up here, there's where the satellite and there's a one pillar. I don't know how relevant or important this is, but if you continue on and you look at what it actually looks like now, there is no pillar, there's no extra satellite. Now, that could actually mean absolutely nothing. But the reason that I bring that up is later on in the footage, which I should actually think it is this scene. Yes, if you look at this scene, there is the pillar that he's standing by is overlooking this whole area right here. If you actually look at what I try to match this as closely as I could. Now, if you look at the rubble here versus, let's go back a little bit. The rubble's right here. Okay, so I don't know if they've messed with the perspective on they brought the back in closer or what they did, but this, I would think that this is essentially the same area that we've been to, but I honestly think that it's changed slightly, and that's why I didn't know if it was maybe back to this area. That maybe you're up here and the perspective is kind of showing it back down this way. Again, that's kind of a far stretch, but it was just something that I noticed and took note of. Okay, when I first saw this area, my brain immediately said, okay, this must be Japan. Just kind of the way everything looks, like, okay, it must be Japan. This actually isn't Japan. This is Bangkok, and this is actually the top floor where the stalker is. This is the area that you would bring Ken Morgan to, the upper floor that you would bring Ken Morgan to. They've just put curtains all over the windows and kind of changed it how it is right now. And I just showed what it normally looks like. This is going to be just obviously the loading screen setting up the story for us hunting down this virus. All right, so one of the other missions we'll get will be Bangkok at night, which is kind of coincides with the last screenshot we just took. But I tried lining this up just to see if they might have changed the background any, but they didn't at all. It's just absolutely horrible to try to look at. It's blinding. But it doesn't look like they've changed anything. It's just time of day and the fact that stuff over there is actually lit up now. For Colorado, I don't think that we'll actually get, for this particular mission, I don't think that we'll be able to go boots on the ground on this one. I think this is setting it up like the sniper challenge they had around the Absolution time. I think this is going to be, you know, any mission you go into, whether he's sitting down, standing up, there's that short little animation. I think this is probably that animation of him just climbing this cell phone tower. And cell phone tower, antenna, whatever this might be. I want to think it's a cell phone tower, but I think this is just the animation of him getting into position. This is kind of the same area where that tower is, or where it might be in the new version. This is obviously what Colorado looks like now. And then I just kind of aimed down based off of where I was moving the camera and seeing that it's on the opposite side of this little pond, which kind of almost encompasses the whole land. So again, I don't think that we're going to be able to go there. I think this is strictly going to be a sniper challenge. Now, the only thing I don't know, and I'd be curious to know, is if this in fact is a muzzle brake or if this is a built-in silencer. If this is a built-in silencer, this might be everyone's go-to weapon, depending on what the attributes for this are. If you can tighten your aim like you can with the silver baller, this might be everyone's new favorite. If this is a loud gun, this might just be, you know, geared more towards kill 'em alls or any challenge that might coincide with this gun. But I'll be curious to know that. This screenshot, there was nothing out of the ordinary that I didn't see. Again, so here's back to the Bangkok. The stalker guy is actually on the opposite side of this curtain. Which, see, like, there's the stalker right there, and I was just kind of showing that this, in fact, is the exact same area. One of the cool things in here is that if you look at this outfit, this is actually one of those Japanese hazmat suits. And I took a snippet from later on, which is right here, showing you that this is the exact same suit. He's probably trying to harvest this virus, whatever he's trying to do with it. You can clearly knock this guy out and take this outfit and go on your little murdering killing spree, so that'll be a fun little outfit to have on. As we go further on, one of the missions of Sapienza, I think this will be us. If you actually look at this guy, okay, this is the guy with the suspenders, which is one of the targets. I think that this is just going to be, this whole bats flying out thing, it's just going to be part of the animation when you happen to push him into the well. I don't think this is going to be like, oh, there's actually bats down there or anything else. I think it's just going to be part of this target kill animation if you decide to get rid of him this way. When I first saw the shot, I'm like, okay, obviously they're just drawing attention to the clown, the outfit, the bat, whatever you get. But one of the things I did notice was this little red balloon here. I have a feeling, I don't really know, obviously, but I just have a feeling that these balloons are going to be kind of randomly throughout this level. And if you go into this level with this clown outfit, and maybe this specific one, they start you in this outfit. I mean, again, I don't know. But I have a feeling that those balloons might be kind of scattered around. And maybe it's going to be the same line of like shooting all the alligators in Sapienza, that if you shoot all these balloons, it's part of like a redacted challenge. So I'd be curious to know if that, other than that, I mean, I don't know why they'd have a balloon mounted on a statue, but whatever. Again, these are just, you know, showing off the outfits. This is part of the sniper rifle that has penetration damage and knockback damage, which you will see later on why this plays a role in that Colorado mission. So obviously that'll have some fun. Okay, so that brings us to this Colorado mission. Again, I don't think we're going to leave this tower. I think we're stuck up here for the duration of this thing, which it'll be a nice little change of pace. It'd be pretty interesting. The sniper challenge was pretty fun, which is obviously why those have knockback, and they have these bushes randomly put in places to help conceal the bodies. Now, this is the footage from the Hitman Sniper Challenge, and I just want to show you that I have a feeling this is something similar to what we're going to be doing. We'll probably be up on this cell phone tower. We'll be locked in this position, and, you know, the same thing happens. You know, you shoot someone here, you're trying to hide him, you know, in the pool, whatever. So here you're hiding him in a bush. Now, one of the things here that I had actually brought up was the amount of bushes that are actually here. Whoa, I went way too fast. Okay, so yeah, you can see there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 bushes here, but there are actually other places as well. I don't know if I screen caught those. But, I mean, there are various, so this is obviously what it looks like now. This is the screenshot, so there is no more lawnmower. There's no more crates that's sitting right here. It's all different now. There's soldiers walking around, so I think this is just, again, if you also look, too, like the detail and the level of shadows and how they work. Again, this is a PC version versus a PS4 version. I'd imagine those shadows are somewhat similar, though, on that version. So I don't think that with the level of detail here, I have a feeling this is just going to be a sniper challenge. We're never going to leave this tower. This is back to the Bangkok at night. Again, I think they mess with the camera to kind of make things look like they're closer, because I end up putting myself in that same position, as you could tell, and it's a lot further back than what it is. So again, it's probably some camera trickery going on to make it look like it's closer. But if they're just drawing attention to the fact that it's lit up, then I guess that in and of itself is cool. All right, so then we're going to go off to, again, Sapiens at night. There is no difference here versus the daytime, other than the fact that Rocco clearly made it to his job, or he just went to bed. One of the two. Or he's just probably not even going to be there. Now, this is going to be another one of those targets that we have. You can see Hitman 47 up here, kind of watching over the ledge. One of the later rooms that we'll look at is actually in this building here. I think there's going to be guards here. I also think there's going to be probably guards up this area too, to try to prevent you from being able to enter in either one of those places. And then I just kind of took a perspective shot of what it looks like now. It's the same 2 guards, except obviously they're in a different position. So you can kind of tell what's been removed, which is, you know, fairly obvious. All these people, I'm kind of wondering if this is going to be just a completely empty area that we go to. Okay, this is back to the Colorado. Again, I don't think that we're going to be able to go down here. I think that this is just them disconnecting the camera, essentially, like I've done, just to kind of show the different areas. But one of the interesting things to look at is we have, okay, this is what the area looks like now, which is funny how great the colors look versus how drab they are here. So if you actually look at this shot, you'll see that there's a truck loading produce over here. I don't know if that's going to be another area that you could probably shoot someone and hide them. One of the other areas is right here. It's Blue Barrel. There's like a table with some drinks on it. There's probably a guard that's going to be patrolling, going back and forth. So it's just showing you the contrast and what it is now versus what it hopefully will be. Okay, so this is going back to you pushing that guy in the well. This is the guy with the suspenders that you pushed off. It's, again, part of the kill animation. There's not a whole lot different here, other than the fact that if you pay attention to where this lawnmower is, we get a scene, which is right here, that will show you this lawnmower is actually over this way. This is where the open burial site is, so they've clearly closed this off. The lawnmower is moved over here and whatever. The only thing I don't know, which it's actually already in the map in normal Sapiens as it is, but if you actually pay attention to the hole that's right here, I thought when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, maybe we're going to be able to go in here and snipe this guy out because of where the position he's in. But this broken window is even in the normal game, and when I went in there trying to line up to see if that's even remotely possible, the way the stairs are block that path completely. So why there's a broken window there, I don't know. I feel like maybe that's what they were going to go for, and then they decided against it, or they forgot, because it seems weird that this church is in pristine condition except one random broken window. Now, this room is the same target that we watched showing coming out of Sapienza. This room is actually this room. And if you pay attention, you can look at the tiling here and see that it's essentially, it's basically the same room. They've just remodeled it and it looked different. Originally, when I first did this, I kind of looked at this little this space heater here and was like, oh, okay, maybe it's a space heater. Maybe they just closed this off. But I think they just, since they gutted at everything and took it out of here, I just think that they moved it over here. So I think this is actually the position of this room. And of course, this room, which I just gave you an overhead, is, again, this will be the area that the room that he's in. I think there's going to be guards posted here. Obviously, there's going to be guards posted here. I'm kind of curious to know if we come up from our apartment, if we're able to come in and break down. But I imagine there's going to be guys in the back, too, that we'll have to deal with. So I'd be, again, curious to see how all that stuff plays out. We go further ahead. This is the back area of the cemetery, which is no different than what it is now, other than it's nighttime. They have candles lit up, and they don't hear. And that bottle is mysteriously gone. Going back to a cutscene. Now, this will be very interesting what exactly our purpose for being up here is. Part of me thinks that this is going to be along the same lines of the Santa Claus bonus map they had, where you could escape through the fireplace, and this was just a way for you leaving the map, and this is kind of what it's going to show. I don't know. It would be very cool if we got up here. But again, if you pay attention to the background here, there's pillars. Okay, so I try to go in. I'm just showing you that this is the building that we're going to be on top of, which is funny because if you actually move a camera up here, this whole area right here glitches out. So this looks like the position roughly that he was in. Okay, now if you obviously pay attention to the Eiffel Tower, I thought maybe they were just messing with the background and bringing the background in, but I think they might have actually moved the Eiffel Tower because the level of detail that's actually in the tower here versus what it is there. I'm feeling like if they were to bring that in, it would probably look blocky and fairly gross. So I think they probably brought it in and added the pillars, or this just might be a way for you leaving and you don't actually get to come on the roof. I don't know what we would do on the roof, if there are patrols up there or whatever the case may be. So I'd be curious to know if we actually get to go on this roof or it's just a leaving the area type thing. This is back to Marrakesh. This is really no different than what it is here. There's absolutely nothing different. This is to the right is the archway towards the embassy. So yeah, none of this is different than what it currently is. And that kind of brings us towards the end of the trailer. Again, I don't think, obviously we're not going to have to wait very long to find out more. I think they're going to have another trailer come out soon. Again, my only question is whether this gun is actually a silenced or if that's just a muzzle brake. Everything else I feel like is pretty self-explanatory. But this one, I'm really curious to know. If that's a silencer, that might be my new favorite weapon to use. But anyway, yeah, that's everything that I've noticed about the trailer. If you guys notice things that maybe I missed or whatever, leave a comment down below. Smack that like button for me. I'd appreciate it. And we will not have to wait long. This comes out November 7th. If you already own the game, it's a $20 add-on. If you don't own the game, you can get the Game of the Year edition for $60, which includes this bonus campaign. You guys have a good night. I will talk to you later. Peace out.